for them. I just got a message from Dr. Niels. So hold on there, Julian. We'll get to you. I Speak 17 said Scott McKay with Josh Reed puts a lot of ideas on what's going on. Yes, Scott McKay is a personal friend of mine. We've had him on the show before. He is very sharp. I would encourage everyone to go listen and follow Scott McKay. He also goes by the Patriot Street Fighter. Kenneth Harvey, who posed a question about the Supreme Court, said Trump is a wartime president through no rules. Exactly. Article 2 of the Constitution clearly specifies if it's a case of national security, President Trump has essentially unlimited power. So again, everybody, don't worry. It's moving the way it's supposed to. I don't know. I don't pretend to know how it's going to play out, but it's happening. I Speak 1717 said sealed indictments up to 500K. Actually, last time I looked, they were over 600K. So that is probably part of it as well. 100%. All right, moving on. So Wall Street Apes was talking about the Nevada 2020 election, the election fraud, I should say. 4,000 plus people voted in Nevada who are non-citizens. 42,000 people voted more than once. Over 20,000 voters did not have a mailing address. 2,400 voters had an out-of-state address. 1,500 people voted in Nevada who were dead. And the list goes on. We've seen an awful lot of narrative about election interference. James, what do you make of it?
Well, I got my information from the Heritage Foundation, and it's a great source to expose all the states in election fraud. In Nevada, 42,284 voters appear to have voted twice in the 2020 election. A lot of this is oversight, and it's inappropriate investigative authority belonging to the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, and local district attorneys. I say cuffage and stuffage.
Exactly. Dave?
Well, it's interesting the timing on this. You know, we've seen some from out of Georgia. I think we've had some inklings in out of Wisconsin, and now Nevada. So we'll see. I mean, I'm glad to see it coming forward, and we knew it would.
Yeah,
we knew it would. So here it is.
100%. Alex?
Well, in Georgia, there were 5 key areas that the FBI went in looking for: missing ballot images, ballots scanned multiple times, inconsistent vote counts during the hand recount audit, potentially inappropriately inserted ballots, changing vote totals during the machine recount. And folks, this is a red state. We're starting this in a red state. So if you want a good idea about just the voter roll piece of it, look up Captain Seth Keshel. He is retired from the military. He's what's called a statistician. Numbers, potentials, probabilities. He works through the numbers, and he went through every single county in the United States. Interestingly enough, in my state, if I had to pick, 2 or 3 counties where I thought, it was, and Kansas is a red, maybe purple state. I don't know, mostly red. It was those counties exactly, and he scores them on a red, yellow, green. If it's yellow, there's something not passing the smell test, and if it's red, it's definitely an issue. And that's just the voter rolls. What does and doesn't make sense probability wise. Like mathematically impossible shit happened in 2020, folks. Just looking at that one little piece.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to come to the surface sometime.
And it's coming. Callie Lumberjack, thank you for all the gifts. So we have a lot of new people with us here on TikTok today. I want to welcome everybody in. I would call you out individually, but we're not able to do that with time and all. Skydancer, Hits, Nisi, everybody's piling in. Sue B has one for you, James. She said, hook and book. I like that one. Oh, look at that from Towie. Thank you, Towie. Hook and book. We gotta remember that one. That's a good one. Hey, Richard Pacente's over here on YouTube. He said, hey, Sam and family, been in the hospital for 5 days with pneumonia and finally seeing the show. Feels good to be here. Oh, I had no idea, Richard. I'm so glad that you're out of the hospital and you're doing better. I hope you're on the mend, brother. All right, let's see here. Melissa Flinner, thank you for all the gifts. And Mary Lees Brown, you're so sweet. Thank you, thank you. Holy smokes, the chat's moving so fast it can't keep up. U.S. Coast Guard seized over $133 million in illicit drugs, according to the Operation Pacific Viper that launched in early August. James, what are your thoughts?
Just from February 13th to the 15th, Coast Guard cutter Seneca offloaded 17,750 pounds of cocaine worth about $133.5 million in Port Everglades, Florida. These drugs were seized in international waters of the eastern Pacific Ocean. Seneca's boarding team with embarked helicopter interdiction tactical squadrons used airborne force to disable vessels. Another seizure of $13.3 million in cocaine was caught near Puerto Rico about the same time.
Yep. Dave?
For the 2025 season, the Coast Guard has saw over 510,000 pounds of powdered sugar off throughout the whole thing. So it's a record-setting year. So obviously that's saving a lot of people. So that's a positive note for sure.
Yeah, what was that old phrase? Booger sugar? Uh-huh. Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Towie Bixby's now #1 on the view list. Right on, Towie. Good job. Let's see here. Let's move on. So, did I miss somebody? No, okay. Jared Kushner was at the Board of Peace conference, and he showed a presentation outlining the Gaza framework for its rebirth, they called it, with Rafah fully rebuilt by year 3 and Gaza self-governed by year 10. Are we actually going to see long-term peace in that region, Alex?
It's been going on for a long time. That's a question I can't answer for you, Sam. Are we? I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the whole situation in that region. If the coastline was leveled, as many of the things that I've seen reported from individuals there, it's going to be a monumental task to rebuild that region into something that's livable. It's a sad situation.
Yeah. James?
The new Gaza redevelopment will transform the territory into modern high-density area with 180 skyscrapers, a new airport, a seaport, and a tourist-friendly coastline. 100,000 new houses, 200 educational units, and 75 medical centers. The goal is to transition Gaza away from reliance on aid, which is 85% of its GDP, toward a self-sustaining economy and industrial parks.
Yeah, exactly. Dave, any comment?
Well, I think there might be a better chance of getting Gaza rebuilt before they do the Palisades in California. That's for darn sure.
Isn't that the truth? Jeez. So true. God. All right, so moving on. We spoke yesterday about Obama, and I put this in the dispatch because I wanted to stir some stuff up. But Obama talked about extraterrestrials, UFOs, and he spoke about classified information. Ooh, that was cool, little sparkler. And then President Trump comes out and says that he's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. Then he comes out and he says he's going to declassify the UFOs, the UAPs, the extraterrestrials, all of it. My question is, just like Al Capone, they took Al Capone down in a way that nobody expected with tax evasion. Is it possible that Obama could be taken down by releasing classified information before it was meant to be released? What do you think, James?
Well, I think President Trump's got him on the hanger right now. Executive Order 13526 was Obama violated the executive he himself signed on December 29th of 2009. This executive order establishes a uniform handling, safeguarding, and declassification of national security information. In this case, Obama commented that aliens are real.
Well, I think when you think about the vastness of the universe, come on, Alex.
I mean, it's not real. We didn't go to the moon, so how is there aliens? what Obama said verbatim, and I quote: "They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States." Well, you know, multiple whistleblowers, Bob Lazar and others, have talked about a separate site adjacent to Area 51 that is, as a matter of fact, underground. You know, if Trump's going to disclose it, I think it's great. I think mathematically, the probability of us being the only intelligent life in this massive universe is probably none. And we're a young population. If you really sit down and think grand scale of numbers, so could we really even venture to call ourselves intelligent when there are possibly civilizations that have existed for millions, if not hundreds of millions of years?
Yeah, exactly. Dave?
I think Trump caught Obama in a lie, plain and simple. I've seen pictures of Obama with Obama hugging Nancy Pelosi, so I know he's looked the alien right in the eye, right in the eye. So there's no doubt about that.
Exactly. Grows and Rose is here. John Langlois. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Earl Shannon said, "Good afternoon, the four knights of the round table." I like that one, Earl. Thank you. Thank you. Did I get everybody on that one? James, did I get you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So President Trump releasing these files. I don't know what to expect, but if he does, like Alex has said many times, if we were told, if people were told to put a corn cob where the sun doesn't shine, people would be walking funny the next day, the majority of the population. And I think there's some truth to that. I really think that so many things have been, I mean, come on, 2 tin cans brought down World Trade Centers. Come on. One shooter took out JFK in a moving target at 200 yards with a bolt action rifle. Come on. You know, and the list goes on and on and on. And how many of them have been proven true? I don't know what to expect if this happens. Alex, do you think that we're going to have a disclosure now, or is it going to be a while?
I mean,
you have made me very angry. Very angry indeed.
Martha the Martian. I would love full disclosure, because if there is full disclosure, it's not just about whether or not they exist, but the technology that they possess that we have acquired over the years. How does that tie in all governments around the world, and what technology they have had or haven't had for years? You go back to the 40s, and you know there's claims that Germany had flying saucers. Where there's a the Cosmosphere in Hutchinson, Kansas, is a space museum, and I've talked about this before. The Russian cosmonauts that were touring the world when the USSR fell got stuck in the United States, and they had to sell what they were touring with, which is suits and capsules, and it's really cool. But in the basement, they do a history of rockets, and Germany specifically. It's not for the faint of heart because of some of the imagery that is associated with their rocket program. But walking through and seeing and learning the history and how rockets came to be, it makes sense that we've acquired some technology. And if you look at how technology has done literally a straight up since the 50s and 60s, it'll be interesting with the onset of AI to find out what the next levels of technology is going to release. But, you know, ask Grok if aliens are real.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Their founder is one.
James, did I get you?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
In regards to SCOTUS's opinion release, opinions are typically announced on the Supreme Court website at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on scheduled opinion days, which are often Mondays and Thursdays, October through June. The highest volume of opinions, particularly contentious cases, are released in June, just before summer recess. In the case of tariffs, Justice Roberts said, Trump's assertion of power under IEEPA might violate the Majors Powers Doctrine.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see how it plays out. I don't know what to expect, but I'm not concerned at all. All right, everybody. So we have Dr. Peter Glidden and Dr. Julian Neal joining us today. Now, Mary Louise Brown, thank you for the gifts. Some of you guys are sending some gifts I've never seen before. That was really cool. The cuddle with Mary Louise Brown. Thank you. All right. So I think both docs are in the chat. Do you guys see them?
Dr.
It's
Glidden.
There we go. Dr. Glidden. And then it should be under. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure.
It's always our pleasure. We've got an extra special guest with us today. In addition to you, Dr. Julian Neal's going to be joining us as well. At least we think so.
He's there.
I
Is he
sent
there?
an invite. Yeah, I sent an invite to you, Neil. Down at the bottom, there's a picture of two little people. We can click on that, and you should have an invitation waiting.
But you need to be on your phone, not on your computer. Let's see if that works or not. Well, in the meantime, Doc, how the hell are you?
Best day of my life so far. By the way, if you want to bring yourself up to speed with all things having to do with extraterrestrials and reverse technology and black budget money and all of that, which is a gigantic crap show, just follow Stephen Greer, Dr.
Yeah.
Stephen Greer.
You know, it's funny
He's
you
been
bring that up.
talking-
I have followed Greer for years. I was one of the first members of his CSETI program back, years ago. I mean, with this, it was, let's see, he released the Disclosure movie, I want to say 20 years ago-ish.
Yeah.
And then about 5 years later, he started the CSETI program. In fact, I actually met a woman through the CSETI program from Slovenia, and she flew out to California to meet me in person. That's how tight a
Wow.
group those people are. Yeah, I remember that very well.
Yeah.
All right,
And
let's
the
see.
big-
What's that?
Well, the whole thing, I mean, it just goes to a lot of skullduggery by the governments of the world, because they've had access to this stuff since the 50s. And they've been using taxpayer money to fund it, and they've been keeping it for themselves. And, all of it just stinks to high heaven. And I think that's going to be the bigger fish to fry than the actual understanding of all the tech that they have. It's going to be, well, why have you been keeping this a secret for 70 years, you son of a bitch?
Right.
Type of a deal. I think that's going to be a bigger fish to fry than the actual revealing of the, of the craft and the technology.
We know
100%
exactly why. We know exactly why. What does that do to the control structure and organized religion and other fallacies that have been laid upon us when we find out we're not the only ones? I mean,
It
we
keeps
know.
them intact. And Greer is right that if this was to go public, the oil industry would collapse overnight.
Exactly. And they're not going to allow that to happen. It's been my argument that whether it's cancer cures, whether it's 0 point energy, whether it's Tesla's technology, you have to introduce those things slowly over a period of time. You can't save the world by crashing every economy in the world. You would be defeating your own purpose. And I think that's part of what's happening with the medical profession, Doc. I think so much information is coming out now. The exposure of alternate cancer cures, the exposure of our soils being depleted, the exposure of autoimmune diseases through the roof because of some of these other issues. I mean, what do you think about that specifically?
Well, I mean, I
Doc,
think that
Doc,
you're-
hold on one second. Doc, Neil, naturopathic,
It's not.
turn
Yeah,
on
it's
your
not
camera.
letting me go. It's not letting me go live. How do I do that?
You're
I mean,
live
I
now.
was on the-
You're on there. You
Right.
just have to turn on your camera.
Just
Alex, can
touch
you
your-
send him
just
an
touch
invite
your
to turn on
screen.
the camera?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just touch your screen and it should be on the left side.
always an issue. I don't know why.
Only
I
with
was
you,
on
Doc.
computer.
Only with
I
you.
know, man. I know. But when I went on, it said only audio only. So
Okay, so go out
But-
and come back in.
okay.
Just completely close out and then reopen the app and then come back in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, Dr. Glidden, what were you saying there?
Yeah. So it's so let me sum it up real quick, right? Unless we put medical freedom into the Constitution, the time will come when medicine will organize itself into a dictatorship, restricting the art of healing to one class of physicians and denying equal access to others. This will constitute the Bastille of science. All such laws are un-American and despotic. Those words uttered by Dr. Benjamin Rush, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence over 200 years ago, and that is exactly what's happened. For 110 years now, we have been underneath the jackbooted heel of a medical mafia, a medical monopoly, which does not allow any other system of medicine onto the playground. They don't. And this is a gigantic problem. We desperately need medical freedom. That is the fix to all of this. We need medical freedom. We need universities to do research on all types of medicine, not just pharmaceutical medicine. We need equal protection under the law, equal insurance privileges, equal hospital privileges for all types of medicine. And we need to put people in jail who have been slandering and vilifying and propagandizing against other systems of medicine that are not their own.
Dr. Clinton, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Dr. Neil because he's got a filter on his camera where he's got lipstick on. What the hell are you doing, Doc?
I don't know. I don't know how that got on there, man.
Dr.
Oh
Neil,
my God.
if you touch the screen and it brings up your camera profile picture scenario, you have to touch on your picture, and then down at the bottom you'll see effects. If you slide all the way to the right, you'll see a 0 with a line through it that will turn that off.
I don't know. You're looking pretty good in the rosy red lipstick, though, Doc.
Yeah, thanks. God darn it. This is crazy. Hold on. I'm going to go out and come back in.
Okay. Holy smokes. I'm sorry, Dr. Glidden. That just cracked me up. I had to comment on that.
That's pretty funny, right?
That was pretty friggin' funny. Exactly.
I think we should all turn on the same filter just to make him feel comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. We might have to. I don't know. So anyway, Doc, you're talking about medical freedom. We have talked about this on the show repeatedly. It is something that has to be repeated over and over and over again. What was it, Hitler that said?
100%, because everybody understands that unless you're God, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and monopolies are only good for the people that own the monopoly. Everybody's on board with that. But what very few people understand is that for over 100 years, we have existed inside of a medical monopoly, which is so vast and so overarching that people don't even know that it exists. I mean, that's a giant problem. I mean, let's go and clean up, lunches. Let's take the additives and preservatives out of childhood lunches. It's not a bad idea, but here's a better idea: medical freedom.
Yeah,
that's the 100%. Only thing that's going to cure the chronic disease epidemic is medical freedom, and I don't know if this administration is going to deliver on that.
Yeah, well, I think that they will, but I think it will be a process. I don't think it's going to be a catalyzing event. I think that we're going to have. Let's see, Dr. Neil, you got your camera turned on?
I'm turning it on now.
All right,
let's
see if you still have your red rosy lips or not.
I hope not.
There we go. What do you know? He made it. Holy smokes. You look like you're sweating under there.
No.
Hey, Dave, do me a favor. Dave, drop out and come back in, would you, so we can get them in the middle of the program? Or James, either one. So, Dr. Neil, we were talking with Dr. Glidden about medical freedom and
right.
things. What are your thoughts on that?
Medical freedom, in terms of, I didn't hear what he was saying because I was off at that time.
Equal access to all systems of medicine, protection under the law for all systems of medicine, no more vilifying, slandering the systems of medicine which are not your own. Insurance pays for everything, and universities are encouraged to do research on all systems of medicine, not just
well, that would be amazing. I've been persecuted, if you will, for working with cancer patients for 45 years. Alternatively, has been really difficult, and so I'm all for that. you know. But
I mean,
again,
who wouldn't be, right? Who
yeah.
wouldn't be in favor of a free market? Who would be against the free market? I'll tell you who would be against it. The people that would suffer financially because of it. And I've always said this, man. If by some genie in the bottle magic we all woke up tomorrow and there were just as many naturopathic doctors, just as many homeopathic doctors, just as many Ayurvedic doctors, just as many botanical medicine practitioners as MDs, insurance paid for everything, hospitals accepted patients from every medical discipline. If that were to happen tomorrow, in 2 years, medical doctors who weren't doing surgery or trauma care would be out of a job. Because in a free market, people gravitate towards what works. And allopathic medicine doesn't work for chronic disease. Well, it works, it produces results, but the results are suppressive, they're non-curative. They kick the can down the road, nothing gets fixed. Everybody gets sicker, and it's a gigantic freaking problem.
I agree. I mean, I think, of course, they're only treating symptoms, and symptoms often have very, very little to do with what goes wrong with the systems of the body that created the disease in the first place. And you're absolutely right, Peter. If if we were allowed to get on programs of preventative care, and we could get, I mean, the Maha movement is the greatest thing that's ever happened, I think, to our country, in the sense of trying to bring awareness and trying to bring some implementation of getting the preservatives, the chemicals, the processed food, all of the things that are causing the chronic illness. So that's proof in and of itself. That's starting to become mainstream. And obviously, if they unlocked all the doors, we would be in much better shape.
And that's exactly what needs to happen. And, I mean, we might as well just go all in here, because look, from the holistic point of view, the idea always is and always will be, let's get to the root cause of the problem. Let's not just mitigate symptoms. Let's not treat the effects. Let's get to the cause. The cause of the chronic disease epidemic is the medical monopoly. Period. Hard stop. End of story. The only thing that's going to fix it is medical freedom. We desperately need it. I don't know that it's going to happen in our lifetime.
The fact that they start giving these injections, before the baby, before the baby is almost out. The second they come out, they start giving them these injections, so that the process of sickening us happens at birth and then just continues. A lot of those immunizations, they're up to 70 by the time you're out of high school. 70.
And the voices and the medical professionals who argue against that correctly are vilified. They're thrown in jail. They're deplatformed. Their lives are made horrible because, remember, a patient cured is a customer lost. And inside of a medical monopoly, you can get away with that type of mafia-esque thuggery.
Well, and I think that is the hinge pin from 1900 on, with the Rockefellers coming in and taking over Western medicine. Their entire business plan is based on people being sick.
100%.
Now, when you have in America, you cannot patent a naturally occurring substance. You can't patent vitamin C. You can't patent vitamin B. It's against the law. So what do? They change it at the molecular level. They treat it. They use it to treat a symptom, and then that inorganic substance then also causes how many other symptoms that they're going to prescribe a pill for. What do you think, docs?
Well, so here's a good idea. We have women who are suffering with hot flushes of menopause and mood swings. Now, remember, menopause is not a disease. It's a time of life. But nonetheless, we've got lots of women who are suffering with these symptoms. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 1 part human hormone and 2 parts horse hormone. 2 parts horse hormone. We're going to mix it together into a patented pharmaceutical, and we're going to give it to women in order to mitigate the symptoms. Oh, only one problem with that. Well, a major side effect of that pharmaceutical intervention, breast cancer. Son of a gun. And by the way, you know what the drug was called? Premarin. You know why it was called Premarin? Because the horse hormones were extracted from the urine of pregnant mares. Premarin, pregnant mares. And they sold this unabashedly, unapologetically, to tens of thousands of women. And it was, I think it was Suzanne Summers, maybe,
Yes.
who rose the alarm about this. And so women in the United States all of a sudden started to get a clue, not because their doctors told them it was bad, but because they actually educated themselves about what was going on. So what did the Food and Drug Administration do? Did they outlaw the use of Premarin? No. They stopped. Doctors in the U.S. started not prescribing it as much, so the pharmaceutical industry shipped it to third world countries where it's still a big deal.
And even the extra estrogen. I mean, our food is full of preservatives, which are estrogen mimickers.
That's right.
So they're starting to give all of us, I mean, we talk about the decline of testosterone, the decline of maleness, the decline of gender identification. And we understand, of course, they're feeding us bio-identical hormones in our preservatives. So they're putting it in the food. And it's insane that, you know, again, I always say, if man has touched it, you don't want to eat it.
You're 100% right. And again, and forgive me, I've just come from outside where I've been beating a dead horse. Nonsense like this can only exist inside of a monopoly.
Right.
Period.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened. You know, I think, without getting too much into it, the quote-unquote epidemic that just passed, I mean, that was the perfect example of what, you know, like the pre-trial of, you know, anybody who spoke out was absolutely, you know, criticized and canceled.
100%. And the non-vaccine vaccines are in the schedule now. They haven't been taken
Right.
away.
Yeah.
Even though all this evidence to the contrary, they're still there.
And in California, if I even tell someone that they shouldn't, I can lose everything. That I am subject to going to jail.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's as bad. Look, man, I've been doing this for 37 years as a licensed naturopathic physician. And I have this to say, that as bad as people think it is, a lot of people have woken up post-COVID. They have, and thank God. And they're starting to see through the cracks, right? Starting to pull back, look at the man behind the curtain. As bad as people think it is,
it's so much worse, yeah.
It's so much worse.
Well, and I think part
absolutely
of what we're talking about is not only getting the inorganic substances and toxic substances out of the food, but also we have to nutritionalize. Oh, thank you, Nismore. You have to increase the nutritional abundance of the body. You have to detox the toxins out of the body. And as what happened there? Oh, okay, we got James back in. And what we've talked about many times are the products that Dr. Glidden and I use, which is the longevity products. And there's a question here, Doc, from Nut. He said that Dr. Glidden, citric acid derived from black mold, and what are natural flavors in tangy tangerine?
Well, what's the question? What are the natural flavors? I have no idea.
Yeah, and he said something about citric acid that's derived from black mold.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But here's what I do know, right? Years ago, I used to micromanage people's blood work. And when I would treat them, I'd analyze their blood. I'd put it through an algorithmic process.
We just got restricted, everybody. Hold on. I don't know what happened there, but we just got a strike. That's okay. Go ahead, Doc.
And then I would try to figure out exactly the nutrients that were missing as per their metabolic profile on the blood work. And then we would deliver medical nutrition programs that were tailor-made to fix that. And I did that for a long time, but I stopped doing that once I teamed up with Dr. Wallach, because one thing that I learned from Dr. Wallach, number one, the human body knows how to fix itself. Number two, the human body wants to fix itself. Number three, the human body's trying to fix itself all of the time, but it needs help. You can't put diesel fuel into an unleaded engine and expect it to run good. You got to put the right fuel in the human body. You got to stop eating food that's gumming up the works, and you have to give the body all of the raw materials that it needs in order to run the way that God intended it to. And these raw materials are called essential nutrients, and the essential nutrients are less and less and less and less and less concentrated in the foods that we eat over the last 100 years. You know what correlates between less essential nutrients in the food, less essential nutrients in the human body, the acceleration of chronic disease.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then when you add to that preservatives and colorings and phytoestrogens and phytoprogesterones, it's a crap show of biblical proportions. So we need to give the body the stuff that it needs in order to fix itself. And in 37 years of doing that, the most effective nutritional supplements I've seen to accomplish that goal is the stuff made by Longevity. And I don't care what the additives and preservatives are, which there are very few, because I'm telling you, man, when we deliver these products to people who are suffering with chronic disease, they get better 83% of the time. Is it a perfect formulation? I don't know. I don't work for the company. I don't have anything to do with the product manufacturer. I don't have anything to do with the determination of the products. I don't even like the people who run the company. But I recommend the stuff because it's unbelievably effective. And that's kind of the long and the short of it.
I would say I agree with everything you're saying. I use a different company that Dr. Cass created. I think he's one of the best formulators in the world.
Oh, shit. We just got restricted again. Sorry, guys. I don't know what we're saying, but they've hit us now twice. But go ahead.
It's because I'm here. It's because I'm here. So.
Nah, not necessarily. Go ahead, Doc.
So, again, it's a different company called Physica. Unfortunately, or fortunately, he's very select. He only allows professional healthcare provided doctors and naturopaths and so on to get his formulations. You can't buy it. He doesn't sell it in stores and so on. He restricts all that. But the thing I really wanted to say is I teach my patients the 3 rules of the body. First, the body always wants to heal. The second, the body knows how to heal. The third rule is that the body compensates so you don't get a symptom. The body will literally often twist itself out of balance so you don't get a symptom. And that often becomes really important when we're talking about symptom mitigation, because the symptom, again, may have nothing to do with the original system that went out of balance. And so that's the problem, is figuring out, for me, how to, where the body has compensated. In my world, there's only really, I don't separate mind, body, and ultimately spirit, which I consider energy. We're 99.99999% air, energy, and only 0.00001% matter. Einstein said there is no matter. We are just spirits reduced to the point of visibility. So I'm a big believer in energetic medicine. And again, food, live food. We're alive. We need live things. Just from thinking, it's just common sense, that you want to put energetically live food in your body and not something that's been dead. And again, going back to, if man's touched it, we don't want it.
And you know what the irony here is, right? Because all of these things, the energetic reality of the human experience, the spiritual impetus, the vital force, the presence of the vital force, the notion that the body knows how to fix itself and wants to fix itself, all of these things that are energetic in nature will trickle down to the physical plane. And if we had medical freedom, we would know by now the absolute positive 100% optimal diet for a human being. Because you know what exists right now? I can find 100 of my colleagues, and every single one of them is going to tell you should eat a different food. You should do a different diet. Oh, you should be a lacto ovo novo from Provo. Oh, okay. You should do the eat right for your blood type diet. Oh, okay. You should only eat raw food. Oh, okay. You should do the carnivore diet. Oh, okay. You should do intermittent fasting. Oh, okay. You should drink 8 ounces of water a day. You should drink 32 ounces of water a day. You should drink a gallon of water a day. You shouldn't drink any water a day. Everybody has all of these ideas, some of which are probably 100% correct. But the fact is that we don't know for sure. And why don't we know for sure? Because nobody's done this research 100%. We don't have dedicated, objective, scientific, holistic research facilities. Why? Because they're against the freaking law. And this is a big problem. Since the monopolization of the medical marketplace that happened in the early 1900s, we are 100 years behind where we need to be. And you know, Stephen Greer talks about it's the lost century of technology because of all of the prohibitions that the government has put on new ideas about energy and anti-gravity stuff. We've lost 100 years. We're 100 years behind where we need to be. We're 100 years behind where we need to be in medicine because of the medical monopoly. Ladies and gentlemen, fire your medical doctor now. And seek out alternatives which are science-based and clinically verified. Otherwise, it's only a matter of time until you are SOL.
The population is 100 years behind, Doc, but the government's not. They're 100 years ahead of what we think they are. And that's part of this disclosure that's taking place, the revealing of things that have been hidden. There's over 5,000 patents that the government has grabbed and put on a shelf so that people can't use them. All of that has to change. I'm sorry, Dr. Neal, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you know, part of the problem is the government got together with big industry back in the 20s and started to make artificial food, started to use chemical waste. They didn't know what to do with the chemical waste. Well, they put it in the food. It's insane.
That's the same thing with fluoride.
Cheese.
Fluoride, too.
Exactly. That's the exact idea. And then they tried to tell us that, oh, we need this for that, this and that. But it was just this bonding of the industrial complex with the food industry, and run, of course, by the pharmaceutical companies who benefit from that kind of poisoning.
All of which made possible by the medical monopoly.
100%.
Exactly.
April Burgess said, I get acupuncture and herbal tea medicine, chiropractor, stem wave, and reflexology. I love it. Now, Dr. Glidden hurt his ankle not long ago and has started implementing some sort of light therapy. You want to discuss a little bit about that, Dr. Glidden?
Yeah, I was told by the Arcturians to use light therapy. That's after they beamed me up onto their ship. We took a trip around the universe. It was a lot of fun. I've been using light therapy, and it was very successful. Look, there's light therapy, there's sound therapy, there's homeopathy, there's botanical medicine, there's medical nutrition, there's fasting, there's hands-on healing, which is quite remarkable. Thank you very much. All of this stuff needs to be researched. All of this stuff needs to be brought into the foreground, because we're just, we're individual doctors working for the betterment of humanity against unbelievable odds, and we're still getting success. If we can do this in this environment, think about what we could do in a completely free environment with protection under the law for everything. It would change the freaking world in 30 days.
I would agree. Dr. Neal?
I couldn't say it better. I really, totally believe that. Yeah, he's absolutely correct.
Oh, I tell you, if people knew what we know, right? If people know what we know, there would be a bum's rush to every holistic doctor in the freaking world. People would not believe the things that we've seen our patients recover from. They wouldn't believe it. Because in this culture, orange is the new black. Okay, whatever. Sickness is the new health. That's guaranteed. You look around, everybody is sick all the freaking time. Being sick is the new normal. And people go to dinner parties now and they don't show pictures of their grandkids anymore. They talk about the prescription medicines that they're on and the medical procedures that they're in line for. It's nuts. Everybody is sick all of the time, not because it's human nature, not because it's an evolutionary imperative, but because the medical doctors that people are going to have their heads up their ass. They do not know what to do to help you fix yourself. And you should fire your medical doctor
Well,
immediately.
the real problem, of course, is medical schools, because there's an elective. Nutrition is an elective, and yet they have 20 courses in pharmacology, because the pharmaceutical industry runs the medical school. So I feel for them, in the sense that their intention is one way, but they're trained not to trust these other things and not to include them. I think that movement in the decades long that I've been doing this, it's moved a little bit. The fact that we even have licensing for naturopathic medicine and other things now. This is steps forward, but again, there's the suppression going on, and there's such a powerful hold that, as you say, the monopoly has on not only the training, but then the implementation and the corruption in the food industry and so on. I mean, I watched this thing on the farmer who was talking about putting a certain fertilizer on the corn to make it, even in high drought. Well, that's great, I mean, for the farmers, but there's so many toxins and chemicals in that thing. I mean, you might as well be drinking it, as it destroying the nutrition of the food itself.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's stupid treatments brought to the market by stupid people who are not interested in helping humanity. They're interested in doing whatever the party line says they have to do. It's doing whatever the party line has to do. Damn the torpedoes and full speed ahead. Doesn't matter if 10,000 women get breast cancer. Oh, that doesn't matter. That's just unintended consequences. Don't matter if 50,000 people die from Vioxx. Oh, that doesn't matter. None of this matters. It's just the cost of doing business, and it is an insane anti-humanitarian movement. Ladies and gentlemen, fire your medical doctor immediately and seek out alternatives which are science-based and clinically verified.
Right. 100%. Well, gentlemen, my God, that was one hell of a run. Dr. Neil, Dr. Glidden, thank you for being here. You guys are just wonderful. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Doc. Is that a thread hanging from your sleeve? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that your arm? I'm just busting your chops, Doc. Just busting your chops. You guys, I can't thank you enough. So I want everyone to know Dr. Glidden has a website where you can go join as a member. He's going to be raising the prices soon. So if you go to my website, samshalhoub.com, click on Dr. Glidden's button. Dr. Glidden, what exactly is that website all about?
Well, it's self-help health recovery protocols that anybody can institute right now from the comfort of their own home based on 37 years of my clinical experience. Your kids get asked me, point and click. I tell you what the MDs think about it. I tell you what we think about it. And I tell you what I would do if it were my patient to get on the other side of it. The intention of the information on my website is to help to pop you out of the medical matrix, empower you with knowledge and practical skills that you can implement now, immediately from the comfort of your own home. No private appointment necessary. Self-help health recovery protocols, the intention of which is to make you the hero of your own health recovery and to put Big Pharma in the freaking rear view for the rest of your life.
Yeah, so go to my website, samshalhoub.com, click on Dr. Glidden's button, use the code SAM, and you'll get a 30% discount on his membership. Now,
How much?
I know, I got to 30%. I got to be careful how loud I say that. Dr. Neil, you developed a line of hair care products that are toxin and chemical free. Can you talk a little bit about that and what it's about?
I want those.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome to have them, Peter. So, I've worked with cancer patients for 45 years, my entire career. And, they could not have the delicate immune systems, compromised immune system. I've also, the last 24 years, run a international child development, or the health department of an international child development organization. So I work mostly with special needs children around the world. So they too informed my making these hair products. I had to make them myself originally, but through a process, someone came to me and I was able to bring them through a lab, but they have no toxins, no chemicals, no preservatives, no dyes, no fragrances, no formaldehyde donor. Every single ingredient is therapeutic. They're therapeutic tonics. And they're hair oils, so there's accessories. Again, I originally formulated these for my cancer patients who were going through, unfortunately, chemo and radiation and so on. But they're for everyone, and they solve the two most important problems that people have, which is scalp issues. You want to grow your hair, you want flourishing, healthy hair. It's just like a plant. You have to take care of the soil and the root, and your hair is the same way. And of course, the other problem is growth. And a lot of times, again, because people are putting chemicals and toxins on their hair with beauty products, they get the root of the hair becomes shocked and becomes dormant. And so through a process, again, if the root is still alive, you can re-stimulate it and grow your hair. So people have grown in their bald spots and all those things. And you can also go to my personal website, which is drjulianeal.com. The shampoo and hair products are neilnaturopathic.com. You can get a code, SAM20 gets you 20% off. And I would say, when I take on new patients, I always do at least a 2 hour, sometimes longer intake. They fill out a long questionnaire, so on and so forth. But I have to teach them. And I tell them, I'm going to have to teach you naturopathic medicine, give you kind of a crash course so you understand the four things that go wrong with the human body and how we mitigate those going forward. So again, they have that information. They know why we're doing it right away. A doctor will never tell you anything other than take this and then this pill, and then that pill gives you symptoms, and then take another pill to take that pill, and on and on and on. And then you're hooked. You're the system junkie.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So everybody go to samshalhoub.com, click on Dr. Neil's button, Neil Naturopathic, use the code SAM20 to get a 20% discount. Now, gentlemen,
I just bought it. I just went there. I just bought it. I'm all in.
We are going.
Great.
Hey, I wanted to ask you both, would you both be interested in doing a special health and wellness podcast show on a Saturday where both of you, maybe Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, maybe some others, Dr. Neil, that you could bring in? Would you guys be willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll probably get shut down soon.
Well, so what? If we get shut down, we get shut down. But I think we should do it.
I think we should create a subscriber list and do it off platforms. I think that's where we'll have the best success and maybe the most intimate of setting.
Okay.
All right, I'm all in. Just let me know when you want to do it. I'm in.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Me too. I have to run. I have a patient who called me, but I pushed her back.
Dr. Neil, thank you for being here. Dr. Glidden, as
Thank
always,
you
thank
for
you for
having
being
me.
here. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for letting me grandstand. I appreciate it.
You're always
Appreciate you,
welcome.
Doc.
All right. Man, they were on fire today, weren't they? Woo! Holy cannoli. Hey, Big D just got here. Kim just sent a bunch of gifts. Nizmar, you, Bobby. Holy smokes. I wasn't paying attention. Pure Blood, Ange. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I get a little focused when I have the docs on, so I wasn't able to keep up with all the chat stuff. All right, so we are going to, Bat and Ball, and thank you so much. So we're going to turn off now Facebook and YouTube because we are at 150. Oh, we got another Trump train from Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. All right, we're going to turn off Facebook and YouTube